Why doesn't Asta have any mana? Will he be able to use it? Asta, born without mana and sorcery, and Yuno, born with mana's devotion, were left together in a church in the village of Hage. But what is the explanation behind the magic-less Asta? As the series goes on, can he develop the opportunity to use it? Asta does not have any mana because of a genetic defect that is not of the same parts triggered by his parents. As verified by the father of the Witch Queen and Gauche, Asta is neither of the demon race nor of the elven, but a demi-human being. It is also because of this that his 5-leaf grimoire can be used and non-magic swords can be used. In a black clover, Asta can never gain mana. What sets him apart from everyone else, as one of the protagonists of the series, is his inability to use spells. There would not be any importance in giving him anti-magic powers and the 5-leaf grimoire if this is taken away, since they will balance each other out. Behind Asta's lack of magic, there were several hypotheses, such as the demon race being him. One such hypothesis is that he was born to parents who cancelled each other out and culminated in his current state with opposing magic abilities. It is not possible to prove these hypotheses. But what we do know is that a mutation is responsible for the explanation behind Asta's loss of magical powers and mana. When Asta's arm healed, the Queen of the Witches thought that he had a vague link to Licht, the elf. She later learns, however, that he is not of the elf tribe, but through his grimoire, linked to Licht. The Queen thought that Asta actually has a mutation that lowers his mana and gives him the power to use anti-magic, that he is not special, and that's what makes him special. He did not, understandably, obtain a grimoire like others from the Grimoire Tower when Asta became old. It was no surprise, because Asta lacked magic, that he was not chosen by the grimoire. As he attempts to console himself, however, Asta sees Yuno being ambushed by Revchi Salik, a former magic knight, near the gate to the tower. Revchi destroys the spirit of Asta when he comes to support Yuno, further causing more pessimistic thoughts from Asta. Yuno's acceptance and declaration of Asta as his rival, however, helps to bring back his self-confidence, which in the process motivates Asta to continue his battle with Revchi and continue to become the magical emperor with his rivalry with Yuno. When Asta manages to get his confidence back up against Revchi, he is chosen to be its host by a strangely fraught old grimoire. The grimoire was previously held by the elf chief Licht and is now possessed by the anti-magic devil. A 5-leaf grimoire comes out of the wall of the Grimoire Tower when approached by Revchi and chooses Asta. The book is tainted by the intense depression and hate of its creator, as the creator of a 4-leaf clover grimoire sinks into total despair, becoming what is known as the Grimoire of Despair. The clover turns black during this process and the 5th leaf forms. It is possible to take and hold these 5-leaf clover grimoires from demons who use the books to manifest their true powers. The only link between humans and the devils then becomes this grimoire. His 4-leaf clover turned 5, giving birth to the Grimoire of Sorrow, as Licht felt deep sorrow at the slaughter of the elves. After it was not obtained by the devil of Kodadama magic, the devil of anti-magic took the grimoire. Asta earned this grimoire later because, due to his mana deficiency, he was the only one able to use it. Asta was born manaless because of a mutation and, thus, does not wield magic. However, that is also because the 5-leaf grimoire, the only human to do so, was able to possess that. Asta was encouraged to grow stronger and work towards his dream of being the Wizard King by the anti-magic properties of the grimoire and the anti-magic devil residing therein. Never again will Asta gain mana. What sets him apart from everyone else, as one of the protagonists of the series, is his inability to use spells. There would not be any importance in giving him anti-magic powers and the 5-leaf grimoire if this is taken away, since they will balance each other out. In the words of the witch, the queen, what's unique about Asta is that he's not unique. By offering him magic, there would be no help for all the build-up that Tabata-sensei has worked towards. There are several fascinating theories about forces in the Black Clover fandom that could make up for Asta's lack of magic and help him achieve his target. One such theory speaks of Asta mastering magic in a manner that magic is used by others. This theory states that if there is a day when Asta can run anti-magic through his body for extended amounts of time, he will be able to create an anti-mana zone, if not always like others do with magic. This zone of anti-mana will allow Asta to negate all the magic that attempts or is aimed at him to reach it. We recently saw a prototype of this when Yami was using his dark magic mana zone black hole. Using the never-ending gravitational force of night, his magic was able to absorb all spells. Similarly, if Asta can do so, not only can he soak up magic, but for him, magic can actually cease to exist.